Hey folks, welcome. So I hope you're enjoying the session. Yesterday you attended the session and you were able to try it out, whatever has been told. For some people, they were saying it was very fast. For some people, it might be slow. So it varies based on your speed that you can do. So if you think the session is going slow, then you can always be ahead of me and try something else while I'm talking about something, going back because people are asking me different questions. Okay, so let's actually get started. So this is day 2. I'm assuming everyone who is attending has attended day 1. So in this particular session we are going to we'll do two things. One is we will create an app that would like step counter, count the steps. So when you walk, something that you need your own app to count the steps. There might be apps available in the Play Store which will count the steps and things like that, but we will create our own app. Okay, so the idea is so let me actually yeah, so the idea is to create those apps, and let me show you something. And and we will do a multi-user chat application. Okay, so using Cloud DB component, we'll be doing multi. So two things we are going to do today, and I will be kind of sharing a Google Meet. In the end, I'll be sharing the Google Meet ID for those who have any questions. They can clear the specific questions during that particular meeting. They can join that meeting, and they can just have one-on-one chat with me. Okay, so that is going to be the plan for the day, and I hope if you are able to hear me clearly and everything is fine. Put it in the chat in case if you face any issues in terms of hearing me. Okay, so let's get started. Okay. So I'm going to actually bring up the screen. So I'm going to create project, start new project. Right? So this I'm going to call my step counter. Okay, I'm just calling it my step counter. You can put whatever name that you want. Project, new project. I'm assuming you're all logged on to the MIT App Inventor website, right? And you have clicked the create apps, and you actually what we need to do is project, start new project. Okay, so that's the you get a blank screen here, like what you can see, and so here we want to do a step counter. So let's actually see what is it needed for step counter. Okay. So in general, what do you need in a step counter? You want a particular sensor that would actually count the steps. So let's see what we have here. So there are sensors, and there is something called as speedometer. Okay. So what we are going to do is we are going to drag the speedometer component into this particular screen. So it's a non-visible component, so nothing is visible, but we are going to use this to count the steps. Okay, so that is what we are going to do. And now from the user interface perspective, what all things that you need something that would actually show you the steps that has been taken, right? So what we will do is we will create some buttons first. Let's say start. So I'm going to drag a button here. So saying start. So I want to start the counter, right? So I'm going to say start counter, start step counter. So I've created a button here saying start step counter. And just like yesterday, I'm going to say for the width, I'm going to say fill parent. So we have start step counter, and there's a button 1, and I'm going to rename it to button start step counter. So underscore start step counter. So I want it to start the step counter. Now when you have start, you can have stop. So we'll also drag one more button here and we will say stop step counter. So we have start step counter and stop step counter. And the same thing that we are going to do is width, we are going to fill parent. So it's going to look like this. And I'm going to rename this button so that I don't know what button 1, button 2 means. So button here is going to mean stop step counter. Okay, so I have start and stop. So we are going to do, what we are doing is we are actually doing a step counter. So when you walk, it will count your steps. Okay, that's the simple project that we are doing. Okay, it's very easy to do in the App Inventor. And I want something to show me the steps, how many steps have been taken, right? So for that, what I need to see the steps being taken. So for the time being, I'm going to put the text box because I want to see the text, the steps that has been taken. Okay, so I'm going to put the text box here to which will actually display the number of steps that I have taken. Okay, so I'm going to kind of clear this and I'm going to say automate width fill parent and text box, rename this text box to text box step count. Okay, so text box step count. So I have kind of done this. Let me see one more thing which I can do something so that it's more. Let me try this thing just a second. Uh, so that you can kind of, it will be a real live thing. So, so basically what we are doing is we have created this start step counter, stop step counter, and we have created a text box for the step count. And let's see what all we need. Okay. So those are the 3 components that we have added. 2 buttons and 1 text box. Okay, I hope you have also done the same. You also added those components while I'm speaking. You also need to do at the same time whatever I'm showing, right? For some people it might be fast, for some people it might be slow, so adjust your speed accordingly. Okay. Now let's go to the blocks. Let's click on the blocks, and here we have uh, like our start, stop, and step count. So let's click on the pedometer. Okay. So pedometer is the one component that they have given which will count the steps. Okay. So here is the thing where it says pedometer simple steps. Okay. So we'll take the simple step for the time being. Okay. We'll keep it here simple steps. Okay. So and what, let's see what all it has got. So that simple step is there. Now here is the start and stop. Okay. So we have start, stop, save, and reset. 4 things are there. Okay. So what we will do when we click on the start step counter, we will actually call the pedometer start. Okay. So let's actually when button start counter step counter is clicked, right? When this action happens, when this button is clicked, so here I'm going to put it here. So when this button is clicked, the start step counter is clicked, I want to call the pedometer start so that it will start counting. Otherwise, every time we don't need to count, right? Only when this application is running, you need to count. So when you click this button, it's going to start the pedometer, start the counting of those things. Okay. Now stop. Similarly, we had stop. So when stop button is clicked, then I need to call the pedometer stop. So pedometer and stop is there here. Okay. So there you go. So what we have done here is we have 2 buttons. When start is called, we are just calling pedometer start and pedometer stop. When stop is button is clicked, we are calling pedometer stop. And now when simple steps are being taken, automatically it is going to give you a simple steps. So what I want the text box to be updated with the steps for the time being. Okay. So I want just the step count. I'm not bothered about anything else. You can try other things. But right now I just want to see whether it's able to count the steps that I have taken. Okay. So So what I'm going to do, the text of the text box, right, I want to set it to the step count. So as you can see here, set the text box text, right, step count text. Okay, so I'm going to say set the step count text to simple steps. So get simple steps, and I'm going to put it here. Okay, so the way it is it's a very simple program, and there you go. Start, stop, and it's going to count the steps. Okay, so in almost like 5 to 8 minutes, we have done with the step counter. Let's see how it is. Okay, so let's see if it works. Okay, now so what we are going to do, just like yesterday, we are going to click on the connect to AI companion. I have the phone. Let me actually check my phone and make sure that its AI companion is running. So I'm going to click on the AI companion. So it's giving me the QR code. So I'm going to say connect, scan with the QR code, and it has scanned. Okay. So I'm going to bring up my, let's say I'm going to bring up my mobile screen also, so that you can see what's happening on my mobile, just in case if you don't have a mobile phone with you. So here is my mobile phone that it looks like. Okay. Now the idea here is when I do a start step counter, when I click on start, I just click on start, and then it's one is there. Okay. Now I'm going to shake my phone. 2. If I walk with this 3, I'm going to just checking my phone just as if a walk simulation. 4, 5, 6. So basically, you can count the steps. Okay. So basically, what we are doing is it's just counting your steps. So you can keep it. You can create an app which will count the steps on a say daily basis or whatever the frequency that you want, to see how many number of count steps that you have taken. Remember some of the watches that people have, they count the steps and calories and things like that. So you can convert the steps into the calories and actually have those counters within your own app. The idea is we build our own app just for the fun of it because we like it. Okay. So slowly what will happen is you will realize that making app is quite simple, and slowly it might improve our creativity. So basically right now start, stop, and then kind of done, right? So the other thing is, if you want to save this counter now every on a daily basis, if you want to save this counter, yesterday we did this. What we did yesterday we used tinydb, right? So if you have a save button, then you can save this counter into a tinydb and save this value, and then when you start again, you get this value from that tinydb and continue this particular value, whatever the value it's showing. Okay. So basically it's a step counter, and there's also a reset counter, because sometimes what happens is we don't know, we want to reset from start for some reason, right? So I want to reset from start, so in which case I need a reset button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my designer and put this text box with fill parent, and then I'm going to say reset counter. So reset step counter. So some of the things that, remember, on the pedometer itself, there was a reset thing. So sometimes you may have to see the component, what it supports, and based on that, put the appropriate buttons. You'll realize that they are really needed at some point in time. So I'm going to rename this button to button underscore uh, reset step counter. So I just added a reset thing so that I can reset the counter. Let me see if it works. In the case when reset counter, okay, when this button is clicked, so what I want to do is I want to call pedometer reset. So there's a reset here. Okay, reset. So basically, if you see here, start, stop, save, and reset. Okay, so so I'm going to actually keep it something like this, and try it to see whether it works. Okay, so go back to my app. Where is the app here? Let's see. So stop and then start. 1 again started. 2, 3, 4, so like that. Okay, and if I do a reset and then do one again, started with 1 2 3 4. Okay, so I did a reset, so it starts with one back. Okay, that's the job of reset. So basically, as you can see, it's very easy to do. The sensors are available like that. If you go back and check out the other things which are available, you can actually do a lot of creative things. You can create apps, which probably is very easy to do so, and you can actually whatever you had some idea in your mind and you wanted to create an app, App Inventor helps you to do that. So okay, so I'm assuming, let me actually take a poll. Um, how many were able to, did it work for you? Step counter, did step counter work for you? Yes, no, uh, did not try. Okay, so I'm taking a poll. Please answer the poll. So I just want to check whether it worked for you. Were you able to try it out? So please answer the poll. Okay, cool. So people have answered the poll. Okay, some people were not able to try. You can put the reasons. What was the reason that you were not able to try? Was that you did not have a computer or did not have a phone? That may be okay. When you get those two together, you may want to try it out later. Okay, but I'm assuming that it was still useful. Okay, so I'm going to end poll in 10 seconds. You can answer the poll. So people have done it, and I'm going to end this poll. Okay, so now we have seen how easy it is to build these kinds of apps. Okay, now what we are going to do, our next task, remember, now we are going to do something different. Okay, so let's actually go back to what our plan was. Okay, so second one is to create a multi-user chat application using Cloud DB component. Yesterday, remember, we used the TinyDB, which is the local storage. Cloud DB would store it in the web, right, on the cloud. So what would happen is, if I want to write a multi-user chat application, if I want to say hi, how are you, and somebody like WhatsApp chat, right? If I want to do that, then I can actually create it very easily using the Cloud DB component. Okay, so we are going to try that now. Okay, so um, so what I'm going to do, going back to this, okay, I'm going to create a new application project, start new project. Okay, I'm going to say my cool chat app. Okay, so here is what I'm going to do, and what I would like you to do is, at some point when we create the APK, then I would like you to actually download that APK, and we can chat within ourselves. So let's try to see if it work or not. So we are going to do a multi-user chat, and we are going to chat within ourselves. All the people who are here, we will chat with ourselves. You will have to install that APK. After we will see how to create that APK, and we will try to chat within ourselves using the chat application. Okay, so let's try that. Now, what do we need for chat? Let's actually think, what do we need for chat? Okay, so what we need is, I need some text box to type my message, right? So if you think about, what do you need in a chat, say in a WhatsApp chat, what do you need? You type a message and you send, and then you get the message from other people, right? So I need a place to where I can type my message and do a send, so it will go to people. Okay, and when people respond, I need to get their messages also. Okay, so what we will do, we will create our own text box where we will type our chat, whatever the text message that we want, and we'll create another text box where we'll get everyone's messages, including your messages also. Okay, so we are going to create a multi-user chat application. Okay. Now let's see this. So let's actually do a few things. Okay, so I'm going to, now somebody yesterday was asking about label. Let's do a label. So I want to say whose name it is, right? I want to say who is it who is typing. I want to know who are the people who are typing the message. So it's a very simple chat, but it is going to work. Okay, okay, very good. So now so here I'm going to write name. So let's try to do this. Basically you'll be writing your name. Okay, then text box is should be there for the name. I'm going to put the text box. I'll tell you why I need a name. Okay, so I put a text box here, and as usual I'm going to say automatic for width fill parent so that it is not halfway. So this is the name. Okay, so text box, then I'm going to rename this text box to say text box and underscore name, or my name is fine. Okay, so name is there. You'll put your name, who you are, so that it will be addressed as you have sent the message. And now I'm going to put message. Right? So I'm going to put a label here. Uh, Label, say message. What is your message? Your chat. Say your message. And then I'm going to put a text box. Okay, so your message, whatever the message is. And I'm going to change the automatic width to fill parent. Message is, I'm going to rename this particular variable to underscore message. So name, message. So you can type your message. Let's keep a simple single line message. And then I'm going to put like a send button. So I want to type my name. I have typed my name and I'm typed my message. I'm going to do a send so that it will go to everyone. Okay. So I'm going to put this button called send message. So that it will go to everyone, send message. Okay. So here I'm going to rename this particular button to button send message underscore send message. So what I have done basically is your name, message, it will send the message. When I click on this, I have to make sure that it will send the message. And when somebody else sends the message, then I need to see a consolidated box containing all the messages, right? So I need a text box which will show all the messages. Okay. So here is the text box which will show the consolidated messages. Okay. So text box is there. Now remember that here we just had a one line message to keep it simple. Now remember, for a consolidated message, to see everyone's message, you need multi-line, because you need to see who are the different people who have responded to a particular message. So there are going to be, it is going to be a multi-line thing. So as you can see here, there is a multi-line support for the text box. So you can say multi-line, click on that multi-line. Okay. And other thing that is interesting is, so I'm going to say width fill parent. Okay. So I'm going to actually, even height, I'm going to do fill parent so that it can occupy the full kind of box, so that I can see all the messages which are there. So it will be line, 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 line. It will be scrolling kind of box. Okay. So I have created a basic infrastructure containing name, message, and send message, and a text box containing all the messages. Okay. So here, if I so I'm going to say, I'm going to rename this particular text box as messages. So everyone's messages will come here. Okay. Now remember that one more interesting thing, since we saw the multi-line, I just saw the read only also, right? So since we are not going to type any message here, right, we can pretty much make this component as read only, so that we are going to type only on this particular in the message and not here. So I'm going to make read only, so that the idea being of read only is you cannot delete any message. It will be just shown accidentally. Also, you can't delete it, like clear those things. So it will be like read only. Okay, just for the heck of it, to be kind of nicer, we are just kind of keeping this. And now I'm going to remove the hint also. Uh, so in the message, it says hint for text box, right? So what I'm going to say is type your message here, or type your message dot dot dot. So a hint will come that type your message there. In the hint here, you can say enter your name dot dot dot. Okay. So just to be a little nicer, enter your name, and let me see if I have to change anything here. So I'm going to keep whatever is the exact thing. I'm not going to change any settings. I'm going to keep the the same thing, whatever is there. Okay. Um, Now you can even, if you, I mean, you can play around with it. You can change the background image, background color, and all those things. Different colors you can put, but we will not try that. You can try it later on, just to kind of play around with it. You can keep an icon background for the application, what icon you want, and things like that. You can do all those things. Right now we will not play around with this, but you can create like background image to whatever the image that you want. You can upload a file, background color to whatever the color that you want. You can actually keep it. Okay, you can change the color and things like that. So a lot of those settings can be done very easily. You just have to play around with those components. Okay, we'll keep it simple. We'll just work on the functionality. And if you have any questions, you can always send an email asking a specific question, and we'll try to answer that. Now what I have to do, remember I have done a very basic framework of this. Now uh, I want to add the storage, right? We have not added the cloud DB. So I'm going to use cloud DB for this. Okay. So I'm going to take this cloud DB and put it here. Now cloud DB internally uses a Redis server. It's a cloud database server. So internally cloud DB component uses a Redis server. So if you just Google on REDIS, is one of the finest cloud database to store values. Right? Um, so it is internally using the Redis server. Okay, and so automatically it's actually creating a particular key for you, so that only you can use it. Not any other people will not be able to see your messages. So it has got a little bit of that thing built in. Okay. Now let's actually go to block. So we have created a basic user interface of this, and then let's try to see how we can make it work. Okay. So first thing is the button, right? So when send button clicked, okay, send message clicked. Oops, send message is clicked. So first thing is button send message click. So when the send message is clicked, what is it that you want to do, right? So I want to store the value in the cloud DB. Okay. So let's see what cloud DB does. So if you click on cloud DB, there are things like that. So sometimes you have to learn from this as to what all things it can do. You can just look at these things and see what all things you can do. Okay. So what we want to do, just like yesterday, we did tinydb store value. Here we want to store it in the cloud. So, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually use the store value. Okay. So I'm going to click store value and the value to store. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, it requires a tag, just like yesterday, tinydb, which was a local storage, required a tag, and we put this names such as selfie1, selfie2, selfie3. This also requires a tag. Okay. So it is a unique value where it will be stored against. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to create a text. So it's a simple text that the tag is a simple text, and you can put whatever the text that you want. Okay, so for simplicity, I'm going to use my message. Okay, so this is the tag for this. Okay, so I have put my message is the tag, and the value to store is the message itself, right? So I want to store the value. What value? The message itself. So text box message contains my message, right? So I'm going to actually use the text box text message text. Okay, so what I have done is I have taken the Cloud DB and I'm storing my message, whatever the message I type, I'm storing it. Now remember that I also have this particular thing. If you go back to the designer, I also have something called name, right? So what really I wanted was I wanted my text message to look something like this. Let me open a notepad. Okay, so I wanted my message, I wanted it to look something like Narayan, hi there, like this. Okay, say Rohit, hello, like this. It should come in that particular thing, right? So I want within the message the name colon so that it looks nice. Okay, so I'm going to put name colon space. Okay, so I want to create a string, a message containing like who is sending the message, Narayan colon and hi there, like that, whatever the message is typed. So in order to do that, I need to concatenate some strings. Okay, so let's see what we need to do here. I want the messages to be in the format that I told. So what I'm going to do is here. So here I've just put the message, and that will work. But just the message will come. I won't know who has sent the message. So okay. So what I want is I want text, and if you see in the text, there is a join. Okay. So here's the join. So join will concatenate the text. Okay, it will actually like concatenation means a plus b plus c. It is going to kind of concatenate the text, say Narayan colon and this particular thing, the text that we have. So I'm going to join the text. So in what are the things that I want to join? I want to join the name. Okay, so the name is there already. I have typed the name there. So text box name is there. Then I want a colon character, right? I told that I want a colon space kind of character. So I want to join with colon text, the colon and space. Okay, so I'm going to click on the text. Okay, I'm going to click on the text and take this simple text into this and say colon and space, the colon character, the double dot, colon character and space. Now I want the actual message. So there are only two things there. I need one more thing to be joined. Because if you see our notepad thing, so what I decided was I have a name. Okay, name is there, whatever name I have typed, and then colon and space is there. Okay, so and I want to actually join the message which is there. Okay, so I need one more thing to be joined. So what the thing, we have to click on this particular thing that you can see. Okay, this particular thing, and you can kind of put this string here down below. So there are string. So I got one more slot to actually put another string. Okay, so here my string should be the message. So text box message and text box message text. Okay, so what I have done is name colon space and then the message. So it will appear like this: name, whatever name that you have typed. In my case, I've just put, as an example, I put Narayan, and then colon space. I've added that the second string, and the third string that I want to concatenate, I want to join is whatever the message. Here I have put hi there, but I'm actually whatever the message you type will be concatenated. So this is the message that I have built, and I want to store it in the cloud. Okay, save it in the cloud. Okay. So I hope it is clear so far, whatever I'm doing. Okay. Um, if it's something is not clear, you can put it on the chat and I'll try to work that thing out, but we will keep the flow. Okay. Now, one beautiful thing about CloudDB is whenever there is a change in the message, it notifies you. So if somebody has sent a message, you will get a notification that a new message has come. Okay, so let's see what that thing is. Okay. So data changed, there it is. Okay, so whenever data change happens, so I'm going to see that value. So I'm going to put the data changed here. So data is changed. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is when data change happens, then I'm going to update my message. Okay, so tag and value is there. Okay, so I want to actually, if you go back to the designer, I want to change this message, right? This message should contain the whatever is there in this existing one plus the message that we got new. Okay, so that it gets automatically added into the this particular text box. Okay, so here as you can see, if there is the value is there, value is your message which is which you have typed. Okay, so value will be this name colon and message. So I want to set the particular text box. Okay, so let's see the messages. Okay, so I want to set the messages, set the text box text message. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to the newer message that comes, I want to those messages to appear first, and the older messages should be down. The newer messages should be in the top. Okay, so what I want to do, so what I have to do is I have to actually concatenate another string so that the newer message is in the top. Okay, so I will use the text. I will use the join thing. Join. Okay, so what I want to join, I want to join this message value, get value, whatever the get value, which means the message that has come, and I want to actually so what happens is since it's a multi-line thing, I want to actually put in different lines, right? The messages that appear here, it has to be in next line. So Rohit sends a message, it has to come in next line. It cannot come in like this. It will look very bad, right? So I want it to appear like this so that it comes in next line. So one of the thing is in this particular say notepad itself, there is a hidden character called new line /n. Okay, so there is a hidden character /n escape code, that is /n, which actually gives you a new line. So what happens, moment it sees a new line, then automatically it will go to the next line. Okay, so we need to inject that new line here so that it goes into the next line, because otherwise it will all be in the straight line. Okay, so what we will do is we will put this character /n. So this is a new line. So I have put my old message /n. Then I want to keep all the messages which were there already in the text box. Okay. So I'm going to click on this, the text box messages, and keep it here. Okay. Now I want to concatenate this. I only see two options here, two slots here. So I want to create another slot. So I'm going to drag this string here and bring it down and put it here. Okay. Now let's see what we got. Okay, so when some data change happens, when Rohit sends me a message, then what's going to happen? It's going to put Rohit's message here, the message sends here, message value is being sent here with the data change, and then my old messages, whatever was there, will also be concatenated with the new. Okay, so all the messages will be still intact, it will not go away. Old messages will still be there, plus a new message that Rohit sent me will also be there. Okay, for example. So here it is. Let's see if there anything that we are missing. Okay. So if there is an error, it's a good idea to keep an CloudDB error. Suppose internet went away. So there's some error, then you may want to notify the user that there's some error in the internet and things like that. So it's a good idea to keep the error thing. But right now we'll not do it, just to keep it simple. But in general, any project should handle the error correctly. Okay, error handling is an important part of any software development. Okay, so you need to handle and tell the user what error happened. Otherwise, sometimes you say that, oh, this application is not working, and you just uninstall the application. Why? Because they didn't tell you what exactly happened. Maybe the internet was not working. Okay, so so let's actually go back, and so I think we are pretty much done. Okay, unless we'll try to run it and see if you're missing something. Okay, so I'm going to do reset connection, reset connection, because I want to connect this new AI companion. Use my phone. Scan with QR code. Okay, doing something. So that you can see my phone, what it did. Okay, so it did something. Let's see what it did. Okay. So first thing is, I can type it here itself. So I'm going to say my name is Narayan. Okay, and so is this is my first message. Okay, so if I do a send message, okay, there you go. It has actually gone to the cloud, and the cloud has notified the data chain and notified me in the data chain, and I have printed this particular message. Okay. So if I try to do, this is my second message. Second message, send message. This is my second message. So remember that the way we have done is the latest one, whatever somebody has typed, should come in the top. Okay. So if you want the other way around, you can do it that also. I've just kept it the latest. The last message that somebody sent me should be in the top. Otherwise, it'll start scrolling. Okay. So we pretty much have done. Okay. Amok saying that slash n doesn't work. Okay. So Amok, so I'm sorry. Yeah. So it may be your parents' account or something like that. But let's go back. So there's a good chance that you did not enable, for this particular one. You did not enable the multi-line, and that might be the reason slash n is not again recognized. And remember, they're not forward slash. Okay, backward slash n. Okay, like what you have typed it correctly, slash and backward slash, what you have typed in the chat is the correct one. So like that you have to type, and you may not have enabled multi-line, and that's the reason it is not working correctly. Okay, so I have this app working. Now I need to find some user to try out multi-user. I need to find another mobile or another user to try it out, right? So for this, I will have to build an APK. Okay. Now there is a new thing called AAB, Android App Bundle. Now Google Play Store, if you have submitting anything to Google Play Store, they are they are also kind of like, they have started accepting an Android App Bundle AAB file, right? So it's much more optimized. They recommend using AAB instead of APK. We are very much familiar with APK. So right now, both are supported, APK as well as AAB. AAB is the new way, and APK is still the old way, but still it will continue to work. Okay. So here is the case. I'm creating an APK file. Okay. So it's going to automatically create an APK. And now I want somebody like you to actually install this APK. And then we'll try to chat within ourselves and see whether it works or not. That will be the final test. Okay, so there are two ways to this particular QR code. So we are not going to publish in Google Play Store at this point in time. Remember that. Yes, you need a Google Play account and things like that. But right now our idea is not to publish in Google Play Store. What we are going to do is we are going to use this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my own, this one, scan QR code. Oops. So if you guys also scan this, okay, if you guys also scan this and install this, download this APK. Just now we created this APK. If some of you guys can also install this APK file, then we can start chatting with ourselves. Okay, so I'll just show you what happened in my mobile screen. I actually use the same AI companion and use the QR code thing, whatever the QR code that came up with the AI to companion, and showed that particular thing, and it gave me this particular thing to download. Okay, so there's a mobile screen. So I'm going to, let's see if I can open this. Okay, so I would like you guys also to try it out. Okay, so I'm just going to take a, okay, so you guys also can try it out so that we can do a chat. Now remember that this one is a untrusted source. So for this particular case, we will have to install it from an untrusted um, so I'm going to say install. Okay, let's see whether it works or not. Sometimes its play doesn't recognize this, so I have to say install anyway. So, or you'll have to enable install from unknown sources. Okay, so since we have created, you just saw me create all the app and things like that from a stranger's APK, we should not be installing, right? We should, so since if you can install it, and if you want, you can just install within your mobile as well. And let's try to chat. If anyone who is installing, let's try to chat and see whether it works or not. That will be the true test. Okay, so it has installed for me. I don't know. So don't send. I'm not going to kind of worry about this. App installed, open. Okay, so I'm going to put my name, Narayan. Hi there. All right, you're faster than me. Cool. Anybody else wants to join this chat? Later on, we can uninstall this program. Okay, we are just having some fun. So Navdi is there. Anyone else? Anyone else who has installed this APK file? You can. This APK file is right here. Okay. I will keep it running on my system for some time. All right, Amok Sagar also there. Cool. Anyone else wants to join this gang? So remember that this video is being recorded, so you should not give any personal information. Okay. This is live on YouTube and recorded video is there, so your name will be there in this. So don't give your email address or phone number and things like that. Okay. They are missing the fun. Yes. People who did not join are missing the fun. Yeah. So anyone else who wants to join this, I'll give like 15 seconds. We are pretty much done actually. Right? I wanted to do this. We are pretty much done with this session. So what I would do is I'll keep it running like this, and then I will go to, I'll create a Google Meet and see if somebody has any questions. We'll answer those questions and then we'll call it off. Okay. Okay, Chiratan also joined. All right. So I'm going to keep it this way. Meanwhile, I'm going to actually create a Google Meet and try, and you guys can join. Whoever is interested can join the Google Meet. So let me just create this. Oh, too many hi sirs are coming. Remember that we have not done any error handling, so don't complain that it's not working and things like that. So you guys can join. I'm going to actually publish this particular. Where is it? It's taking time. It's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's okay. So you guys can join this particular meeting. Okay. And I will turn kind of. I will stop the session. We are pretty much done whatever we wanted to cover, and I'm going to end the stream. Okay, and we will. People who want, they can join the join a Google Meet so that we can have a one-on-one discussion, which will be a private discussion, not in the will not be recorded. So give me some time. I'm going to end the stream.